Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to John Hardin High School for tonight's boys volleyball action. Tonight's matchup has Casey County Rebels taking on the John Hardin Bulldogs. Now I'm going to turn it over to our PA announcer for tonight's starting lineups. Alright, so there we have our lineups on both sides. Reminder, this is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownSelfStorage.com, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company that's been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. For the Rebels of Casey County, and under Coach Corey Ray, they're 0-2 on this season. While the Bulldogs, under Coach Andrew Norton, come in with an 0-3 record on the year. It is best 3 out of 5 sets. Each set will go to 25, first one to 25 leading by 2, unless they go to a fifth set in which it'll be the first one to 15 leading by 2. For Casey County, they will play again tomorrow night. They will host Pulaski County. And then for actually both of these teams this Friday, they're going to be in a tri match. Casey County, John Hardin, and Southwestern High School will all be playing each other. That'll be the next time that the Bulldogs are in action. So on the court for the Rebels, we have Nolan Good, Austin Lee, Cameron Luttrell, Briar Vest, Sam Gossage, and Ethan Hatter. The libero is Luke Barnes for them. For John Hardin, Ibrahim Abdel-Latif, Blake Curry, Charlie Cox, Jacob Finn, David Tobin, Joseph Kim, and Sam Salgado will be the libero for the Bulldogs. Official's going to make sure everybody's in the right lineup. This will be our final match before spring break. We'll not have any games next week. When we come back after spring break, we will have boys and girls lacrosse along with softball and baseball action. So it looks like John Hardin will have first serve. And that'll be Joseph Kim to serve first for the Bulldogs. 0 serving 0. Goes to Hatter in the middle. Get over that time by Luttrell, and he'll get the point for the Rebels. And the libero Barnes steps in. He'll head to the service line. 1 serving 0. Salgado. Curry gets to it, not going to be able to return it. Point Casey County. 2 serving 0. Salgado not able to turn it. Ace for Barnes. 3 serving 0. Floats that one over. Curry sends it back. Sam Gossage to Lee. Hatter takes the swing. Dug on the back line by Flynn. That was going to be sent all the way over by Kim. And getting the tip kill is Austin Lee for the Rebels. 4 serving 0. Salgado to Kim in the middle for Curry. Touched at the net. Point. Had a net violation on the Rebels. Yassine Abdelatif checking into the lineup for John Hardin. 1 serving 4. Luttrell to Lee. Back for Luttrell. Just tap this one towards the middle. Curry gets a hand on it, but not going to be able to get it back over. Point Casey County. Cameron Luttrell now to the line for the Rebels. 5 serving 1. It is teammate on that one. Point for the Bulldogs. And Blake Curry now heads to the service line. 2 serving 5. David Tobin checks back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. That one won't clear the net. Service error, point back, service and point over to the Rebels. This will be Austin Lee now serving for Casey County. 6 serving 2. Abdelatif to Kim for Ibrahim. Abdelatif not able to get that one back over. Blocked that time by Vest. One of the Bulldogs had also gone under the net. 7 serving 2. Yassine Abdelatif to Kim. Bump sets right at the net. Got a little too tight. Point Rebels. With that, John Hardin will take their first timeout. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownSelfStorage.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, eTown Exterminating, West Point Bank. We'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. Come back out. It'll be Austin Lee at the service line for the Rebels. 8 serving 2. And that'll be an ace. Ran up the tape and hit the antenna. It's automatically out at that point. 9 serving 2. Yassine Abdelatif, Tobin. Yassine gets it over the net, gets the kill. Point John Hardin. Kyle Smith checks in for John Hardin, along with Jeremiah Barrett. Barrett heads to the front line as Smith heads to the service line. 3 serving 9. Luttrell return a little too close to the net. Ace for Smith. 4 serving 9. That goes wide. Point Casey County. Nolan Good checks back in on the front line for the Rebels. This will be Ethan Hatter at the service line. 10 serving 4. That sails long. Point Bulldogs. Charlie Cox now will check in for John Hardin on the front line. Jacob Finn to serve. 5 serve 10. That doesn't clear the net. Brian Vest now to the line for Casey County. 11 serving 5. Ace. 12 serving 5. That one misplayed by Cox. Another ace. 13 serving 5. Finn to Smith. Barrett sends it over. Sam Gossage, that one hit that time. Now Tobin will bump that one over into the middle. Hatter sends it back. Kim to Tobin. He sends that one over. Lee gets it over to Good, who sends it down the middle. Point Rebels. .14 serving 5. Cox to Smith. Tobin in the middle gets the kill. Point Bulldogs. Blake Curry now will check back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. Sam Salgado heads to the service line. 6 serving 14. Luttrell to Lee. Luttrell hit this one back row. That's long. Point John Hardin. 7 serving 14. Luttrell to Lee, back for Luttrell, and he gets the kills down the middle. Sam Gossage now heads to the line for Casey County. 15 serving 7. That goes long. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif will check back in on the front line. Joseph Kim will check in on the back line for the Bulldogs. Kim to serve, 8 serving 15. We're in set number 1. First one to 25, leading by 2. Best to Lee. Good sends it over, back into the net. Sent over by Curry. That one goes long off of Good. Point Bulldogs. Excuse me, 9 serving 15. Ace for Kim. 10 serving 15. Hatter to Luttrell. Good, taps it over. Cox to Kim. For Abdel Latif, that doesn't clear the net. Point Rebels. Luke Barnes checks back in. He'll head to the service line. 16 serving 10. Salgado to Kim. Outside Abdel Latif back line. I say it was touched at the net. Point Bulldogs. Yassine Abdel Latif checks back in. He'll head to the service line. 11 serving 16. That goes wide. Cameron Luttrell to the line now. Oh, they're going to have a sub in. Remy Sebastian now heading to the service line for the Rebels. 17 serving 11. Salgado to Kim. In the middle for Curry. Touched at the net. Barnes to Lee. Back for Hatter. Hatter tools the block. Point Rebels. 18 serving 11. Salgado to Kim. This will be real tight to the net. That's going to be out as it goes off the antenna. Point Rebels. 19 serving 11. Salgado to Kim. In the middle for Curry. Blocked at the net by Hatter. This one comes up. Joust one by Hatter. Salgado pops it in the air. Kim. This one's going to be close to. It does get over. Point Bulldogs. David Tobin back in on the front line for John Hardin. Blake Curry heads to the service line. 12 serving 19. Hatter to Lee. Outside for Vest. Back line. Curry to Kim. Abdel Latif sends that one over. Lee for Vest again. Goes across court. Curry gets to that one. Finn will send it back over. Kim just able to make a block in the middle by Tobin on Hatter. Point Bulldogs. (13 serving 19). Hatter to Lee. Back row Barnes will send it. That's long. And Casey County will take the time out. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom. Online at bbtel.com. Physical Therapy Associates. Go online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownSelfStorage.com. They can be reached at eTownSelfStorage.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling. Call 270-982-7206. E-Town Exterminating. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank. Visit us at westpointbank.com. We come out of the timeout. Blake Curry at the line for the Bulldogs. 14 serving 19. Vest to Lee. Middle for Hatter. Down the middle. It's long. 15 serving 19. Barnes to Lee. For Vest. He goes across court. It's wide. 16 serving 19. Lee for Hatter, just tapped over, and The Rebels win a 6-point run by the Bulldogs. It'll be Austin Lee heading to the line for Casey County. 20 serving 16. Service error. Point and serve back over to the Bulldogs. Kyle Smith and Jeremiah Barrett checking in for the Bulldogs. Smith to serve, 17 serving 20. And into the net. Nolan Good checks back in on the front line for Casey County. So Ethan Hatter heads to the service line, 21 serving 17. And that'll be an ace for Hatter. 22 serving 17. Salgado doesn't quite get back. Smith pops it up. Salgado will send it over. Hatter, some miscommunication that time from the Rebels. Point Bulldogs. Jacob Finn heads to the service line. Charlie Cox checks in on the front line. 18 serving 22. Hatter to Lee. Gossage not able to clear the net with that one. 19 serving 22. Sebastian to Lee. For good, he just taps it over. Smith gets to that one. Salgado pops it up. Finn now sends it over. Sam Gossage to that one. Lee. And it'll be good. Blocked inside by Barrett. Salgado plays it up for Finn. He'll send it back row. Hatter to Lee. Vest now will bump it back row. Finn gets that one to Smith. Outside for Cox. Just taps that one over. Vest to Lee. Back for Vest. Vest takes it off the blockers. Gets a point for Casey County. Briar Vest now to the line for Casey County. 23 serving 19. Ace. And it'll be set point for Vest as he gets to the line. 24 serving 19. That's long. Blake Curry back in on the front line as Sam Salgado will head to the service line. 20 serving 24. Hatter to Lee. Good, we'll just tap this one over. Smith to Salgado. Outside for Verrett. That goes wide, and set number one will go to Casey County. 25-20. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Featuring BART, protect what matters most. BBTEL Stream, watch TV with your BBTEL app. BBTEL Secure, a safer home awaits. BBTEL Blast, make the most of your Wi-Fi. Visit bbtel.com today. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Bardstown, Brandenburg, and South Louisville. For more information, go online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownSelfStorage.com, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs. Featuring video surveillance, climate-controlled self-storage, but also storage for RVs and boats with electrical outlets in every spot to keep everything charged up and ready to go when you are. Go to eTownSelfStorage.com for more information. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located off I-65 at exit 91, 311 Steel Drive in E-Town. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned family-run pest control company that has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple with 5 locations in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. West Point Bank, working better together, online at westpointbank.com. Also like to thank all of our student workers for making tonight's broadcast possible. William Grimes, Violet Maxheimer, Isaiah Washington. Our audio director tonight is Ace McGuire, all under the direction of Mr. Jeremy Miller. On the court to start set number 2 for the Bulldogs, Blake Curry, Charlie Cox, Joseph Kim, David Tobin, Jacob Finn, and Ibrahim Abdelatif. With Christian De Los Santos set to check in as the libero. On the court for the Rebels, Ethan Hatter, Austin Lee, Sam Gossage, Ethan Good, Briar Vest, and Cameron Luttrell with Luke Barnes as the libero. And actually he will step in and go straight to the service line. 0 serving 0. Officials making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. Cox. Kim back for Cox. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Rebels. 1 serving 0. Thin to Kim. Curry does not take it over the net. Not sure if he realized that he had to take it over on that one as he shakes his head. 2 serving 0. And that one goes long. Point Bulldogs. And Joseph Kim will head to the service line. 1 serving 2. Gossage and Lee sends it over. Kim to Cox. That's going to get over. Hatter there tips it back. We're going to have a point for the Rebels as one of the Bulldogs had gone under the net. And Cameron Luttrell now to the line for the Rebels. 3 serving 1. That one lands on the line. Ace for Luttrell. 4 serving 1. De Los Santos for Curry. That doesn't get over. Point Rebels. 5 serving 1. De Los Santos to Curry. Kim now will bump it back line. Barnes gets to that to Lee. Outside for Vest. He'll go back line. It's long. Point Bulldogs. Yassine Abdelatif now into the lineup. He'll head to the service line. 2 serving 5. Luttrell to Vest. Lee will now hit it over. Yassine Abdelatif to Kim. For Ibrahim Abdelatif, he sends it back row. Luttrell gets that one. To Lee for Hatter. Blocked at the net by Curry. Point Bulldogs. Three serving 5. Lee outside Vest. Looked like it was a double hit at the net. Lee outside Vest. He'll just roll that one back row. Yassine Abdelatif to Kim. In the middle for Curry. Blocked there by Hatter. Point Rebels. Service error. Austin Lee, the server that time for Casey County. David Tobin checks in on the front line for the Bulldogs. Blake Curry heads to the service line. 4 serving 6. Ace, as that one goes through the hands of Barnes. 5 serving 6. Luttrell to Hatter. Up for Vest. Throws that one back line. Yassine Abdelatif to Kim. For Ibrahim Abdelatif, that one's over. Barnes gets to it. Hatter pops it up. Sam Gossage takes it off the back again. You can play it out of the rafters here. Tobin now will send it over. Vest right to the middle. Lee punches that one over. Now Kim will send it back. Vest to Lee. Back sets for Hatter. Back line. Kim gets to it. Not going to be able to return it. And point for Casey County. Christian De Los Santos back in on the front line, back line for the Bulldogs. Nolan Good checks in on the front line for the Rebels. Ethan Hatter with the serve. Kim to Yassine Abdelatif. That one gets over. And that one good at the net. Took it off the second touch and gets the kill. Eight serving 5. Finn to Kim, back outside. Finn sends it over. Lee sets it there for Vest. He'll tap it towards the middle. And a Bulldog got into the net. That one fell. Point for the Rebels. 9 serving 5. Ace from Hatter. 10 serving 5. Off Yassine, then De Los Santos. Now Kim sends it over. Luttrell to Lee. For Good in the middle, just taps that one over. Ibrahim Abdelatif to Kim, back for Ibrahim. Taps that one over, and he'll get the kill. Point Bulldogs. Kyle Smith will check in, head to the service line. Julius White will check in on the front line for the Bulldogs. 6 serving 10. This is the second set. Casey County won the first set, 25-20. And we're doing best 3 out of 5. Gossage to Lee, back for Gossage. He hits that one long. Point Bulldogs. 7 serving 10. Service error, point for Casey County. And that'll send Briar Vest to the line for the Rebels, 11 serving 5. Yassine to to Smith, popped up. Lee, now Good will just roll that one back line. Yassine Abdelatif there. In the middle, Tobin takes a swing. Vest gets to that one. Lee, and then taken over by Luttrell. Abdelatif to Kim, he'll bump that one over. Hatter to Gossage, and Luttrell just taps that one over. Smith gets to that one. Abdelatif now to be Finn, who gets it over. It's popped up in the air, and now Good will roll it over. Kim gets that one to Tobin. He'll send it back row. Lee is there to Vest. Front line for Good. Tapped over, not able to get to it cleanly are the Bulldogs. Point Rebels. Good rally on both sides that time. 12 serving 7. Yassine to Smith, sorry. That one too far outside. Point Rebels. 13 serving 7. White to Smith for Tobin backline. Hatter gets that one to Lee. In the middle, Good will roll that one over. De Los Santos to Smith. Outside, White will prep that one over. Lee to Gossage. In the middle for Good. Abdelatif gets to it. That one's going to go out outside of the antennas. Point Rebels. 14 serving 7. Yassine to Smith for White. White with a big swing off the blockers. Point Bulldogs. Charlie Cox will check in on the front line for John Hardin. Jacob Finn heads to the service line. 8 serving 14. Vest to Gossage. That one goes out wide. Ace for Finn. 9 serving 15. Hatter to Lee. Good will send that one over. Finn to Tobin. Smith now rolls that one back row. Lee there. Good will just punch it over. De Los Santos to Smith. Now Tobin. Hatter gets to it, but it's going to be another kill for David Tobin. Point Bulldogs. 10 serving 14. Hatter to Lee. Outside for Luttrell. Big swing. De Los Santos digs that one out. Smith for White. That's going to go long. Point Rebels. And Sam Gossage will now head to the service line for Casey County. 15 serving 10. De Los Santos to Smith. For White, left hand sends it over. Gets it right in front of that back line. Point Bulldogs. Blake Curry checks back in on the front line. Tristan De Los Santos heads to the service line. 11 serving 15. Vest sends it back over. White there. Now sent over by Good. Smith gets to that one. De Los Santos. And Curry not able to get to some miscommunication by the Bulldogs. Point Rebels. Luke Barnes now checking back in. So he will head to the service line for the Rebels. 16 serving 11. Ace. 17 serving 11. Finn to Smith. Outside for Cox, just taps that one over. Barnes gets to it. Hatter will play it over to Luttrell. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Bulldogs. Joseph Kim back in at the service line as Ibrahim Abdel-Latif checks back in on the front line. 12 serving 17, and it'll be an ace for Kim. 13 serving 17. Gossage to Lee for Hatter. I think that went out. In the middle, Curry takes a swing. Gossage gets that one to Lee. Back for Hatter. He'll send it back row. De Los Santos there. Kim pops it up. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif over. But a stuff that time. Big block from Hatter. Point Rebels. Cameron Luttrell now to the line for Casey County. 18 serving 13. That one just a bit long. Yassine Abdel-Latif now in for the Bulldogs. He had to serve. 14 serving 18. Hatter to Lee for Vest. Backline, that's long. 15 serving 18. Service error, point to the Rebels. Austin Lee, the setter, now heads to the line. 19 serving 15. De Los Santos right at the net. Kim for Curry, and Curry gets the kill. And Blake Curry now ahead to the service line. David Tobin checks back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. 16 serving 19. Barnes to Gossage, who sends it over. Abdel-Latif sends it back. Best to Hatter, dumps it over. Yassine Abdel-Latif able to get a hand to it, but not able to get it to a teammate. And Ethan Hatter now hits the service line. No one good. Checks back in on the front line for the Rebels. 20 serving 16. Yassine to Kim now. Ibrahim will hit that one over. Gossage to Lee. For Hatter, he'll just bump that one. Yassine unable to get a good set on that one. Point for the Rebels. 21 serving 16. And ace. No one able to get to that one after Yassine Abdel-Latif popped it in the air. 22 serving 16. Yassine Abdel-Latif to Kim. Tobin now will send it over. That's on the line. Point Bulldogs. Kyle Smith and Julius White check back in for John Hardin. Smith will head to the service line. 17 serving 22. Sam Gossage not able to get a good set on that one. Ace for Smith. 18 serving 22. Luttrell to Lee. Outside for good. Off the blocker. Smith gets to that one. De Los Santos pops it up. Yassine Abdel-Latif not going to be able to get that one over. Point Rebels. Fryer Vest with the serve. De Los Santos pops that one up. Smith sets outside for White. He'll roll that one over. Lee gets to it. Gossage sends it back row. You've seen there. Now Julius White sends it over. Hatter to Lee. Good. Down the middle. De Los Santos gets that one. Smith and Finn will send it over. Gossage to Lee. In the middle for good. Down the middle. Sent back by Abdel Latif. Lee outside. It's time for Luttrell. He goes back line. It's long. Point Bulldogs. And Jacob Finn now will head to the service line. Charlie Cox checks in on the front line for the Bulldogs. 19 serving 23. Now they'll clear the tape. And it'll be set point now for the Rebels. Sam Gossage heads to the line. 24 serving 19. Cox to De Los Santos. Tobin now will send it over. Gossage gets that one to Lee. Into the middle. Good will send it back row. Finn to Smith. Tobin again will send this one over. Vest to Lee for Luttrell. Takes a little off of that one. De Los Santos to Kim. White sends it over. Lee hits in the air. Gossage will send it back row. Finn there to Smith. Outside for Cox. To the middle. Luttrell gets to it. Popped up. Not going to be able to get it back over. Point Bulldogs. And so Christian De Los Santos now to serve for John Hardin. Blake Curry checks in on the front line. 20 serving 25. Vest to Luttrell. For good, he'll just tap that one over. De Los Santos gets to it. The joust at the net, won that time by Good. And second set goes to the Rebels, 25-20. They now lead 2 sets to none. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Featuring Bart, protect what matters most. BBTEL Stream, watch your TV from your BBTEL app. BBTEL Secure, a safer home awaits. BBTEL Blast, make the most of your Wi-Fi. Visit bbtel.com today. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Bardstown, Brandenburg, and South Louisville, or go online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownSelfStorage.com, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs, featuring video surveillance, climate-controlled self-storage, but also storage for RVs and boats with electrical outlets in every spot to keep everything charged up and ready to go when you are. Go to eTownSelfStorage.com for more information. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located off I-65 at exit 91, 311 Steel Drive in Elizabethtown. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned family-run pest control company and has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. At West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. The 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. West Point Bank, working better together, online at westpointbank.com. Also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. I'd like to thank all of our student workers for making tonight's broadcast possible. And we have William Grimes, Violet Maxheimer, Isaiah Washington, and Ace McGuire, all under the direction of Mr. Jeremy Miller. So we come out for the third set. The Bulldogs will have to win this set to continue on this match. We have Ibrahim Abdel-Latif, Blake Curry, Charlie Cox, Joseph Kim, David Tobin, and Jacob Finn, with Christian De Los Santos set to be the libero. on the court for the Rebels. It'll be Austin Lee, Sam Gossage, Cameron Luttrell, Nolan Good, Briar Vest, and Ethan Hatter. Luke Barnes will check in at the libero. A few points. John Hardin will have first serve here in set number 3. And it'll be Joseph Kim to take that first serve. 0 serving 0. Vest to Lee. Backline Hatter sends that one over. Kim gets to it. Not going to be able to return it. Point Rebels. Luke Barnes will check in and head straight to the service line. We have Ben Gossage set in, or step in. And Luke Barnes to serve, 1 serving 0. De Los Santos to Kim for Ibrahim Abdelatif, and it goes off the back row. Point Bulldogs. Yassine Abdelatif now checking in for John Hardin. He'll head to the service line. 1 serving 1. Hatter to Ben Gossage. He'll send it back row. Abdelatif gets to it. Kim now. Ibrahim Abdelatif. That one off. Luttrell out. Point Bulldogs. 2 serving 1. That one didn't clear the net. Point for the Rebels. Cameron Luttrell now to the line. 2 serving 2. Then to Kim for Blake Curry. That goes long. Point Rebels. 3 serving 2. De Los Santos gets to it. Hatter there though. Off from Vest gets the kill. De Los Santos came in with the diving dig to get that one back over the net. Point Casey County, 4 serving 2. That sails wide. Point Bulldogs. As David Tobin will check in on the front line as Blake Curry heads to the service line. 3 serving 4. And that one misplayed. Ace for Curry. 4 serving 4. And that's another ace for Curry. 5 serving 4. And with that, Casey County will take their first timeout in set number 3. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownSelfStorage.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, eTown Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Reminder, for Casey County, they're back in action tomorrow night as they will host Pulaski County. And then Friday night, both of these teams will be in a tri-match together along with Southwestern High School. Each team will play 2 games during that tri-match. Come back to action this timeout. It'll be Blake Curry at the line for the Bulldogs. 5 serving 4. Gossage to Vest. Now Hatter sends it over back row. Tobin not quite able to get that one up. Point Rebels. And it'll be Ben Gossage that heads to the line for Casey County. 5 serving 5. Christian De Los Santos back in on the back line for the Bulldogs. Finn to Kim. Ibrahim Abdelatif not able to get that one over. Point. Rebels. 6 serving 5. Yassine to Kim for Ibrahim. He sends it down the line. Ball kicked back into the net. Can be played off the foot. Unable to get it back out. It's a point for the Bulldogs. Kyle Smith and Julius White check back in for the Bulldogs. Smith will head to the service line. 6 serving 6. Barnes to Big Gossage to Sam Gossage, sends it over. Yassine there to Smith for White. He'll go back row. Barnes is there. And Savage to Sam Savage. Gossage, sorry, that gets that one over. Smith to Tobin. Barnes to Gossage. Popped up in the air by Finn. Now Tobin sends it back row. Barnes to Ben Gossage. Now Vest sends that one over. Right back at the net. Vest pops it straight up. And actually Hatter is going to get the kill on that one as he was able to get it out of the net and just get it over the net. The Bulldogs not able to return it. As Ethan Hatter will now head to the service line as Nolan Good checks back in on the front line for Casey County. 7 serving 6. Ace. 8 serving 6. Santos to Smith for Tobin. Blocked inside by Good. 9 serving 6. That one into the net. Service error. Point for the Bulldogs. Charlie Cox will check back in on the front line. Jacob Finn heads to the service line. 7 serving 9. Hatter to Ben Gossage. Now Sam Gossage not able to get it over. Point Bulldogs. 8 serving 9. Sam Gossage for Ben Gossage. Sam Gossage sends that one over. Cox to Smith. White sends it over. Sam Gossage to Ben Gossage. This one for Good. Goes back line. It's long. 9 serving 9. Vest to Ben Gossage, back for Vest, and he gets the kill. And Briar Vest will head to the service line for the Rebels. 10 serving 9. And that one just clears the tape. Ace for Vest. 11 serving 9. Santos to Smith for Cox, sent over. Luttrell now Good in the middle from Ben Gossage, sorry. And they find an open spot to the Bulldogs to get the point and the serve back. Blake Curry back in on the front line as Christian De Los Santos heads to the service line. 10 serving 11. That's out. Point Rebels. And Sam Gossage will head to the service line. 12 serving 10. Cox to Finn, to the middle. Curry will knock this one over. Diving dig inside by Sam Gossage. Able to get it back, was good. Hatter to Ben Gossage. Outside, Luttrell is going to send it over, but it goes wide. Point Bulldogs. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif and Joseph Kim check back in for the Bulldogs. Kim will head to the service line. 11 serving 12. Luttrell. Ben Gossage back to Luttrell. He tools the block. Point Rebels. Luke Barnes back in. He'll head to the service line for Casey County. 13 serving 11. We are in set number 3. Casey County won both sets 1 and 2, 25-20. That one's back line. Called in. Point for the Bulldogs. Now Yassine Abdel-Latif will check back in for John Hardin. He'll head to the service line. 12 serving 13. We have Remy Sebastian check in on the back line for Casey County. Sam Gossage to Ben Gossage. Luttrell will send that one over. Point Casey County. Cameron Luttrell now at the line for the Rebels. 14 serving 12. Ace. 15 serving 12. Now we're going to clear the tape. Service error, point for the Bulldogs. As David Tobin checks back in on the front line. Blake Curry heads to the service line. 13 serving 15. Sam Gossage to Ben Gossage in the middle. Hatter, big swing. Point Casey County. Now Ben Gossage to the line. 16 serving 13. Yassine Kim outside for Ibrahim. Back row gets the kill. Kyle Smith and Julius White back in for the Bulldogs. Smith will head to the service line. 14 serving 16. Barnes. Ben Gossage for Sebastian. Back row. Yassine gets to that one. De Los Santos hits it straight up. Now Tobin not able to clear net. Point for the Rebels. Nolan Good back in on the front line for Casey County as Ethan Hatter heads to the service line. 17 serving 14. Yassine to Smith for White. Just taps that one over. Finds the open spot. Point for the Bulldogs. Charlie Cox now back in for John Hardin as Jacob Finn heads to the service line. 15 serving 17. Sam Gossage to Ben Gossage. Then that one tapped over, kill by White. 16 serving 17. Ben Gossage to Hatter. Good, able to tap it over. That should have been out. Yeah. Good, got up and hit the ball. Actually, through the net. Point for the Bulldogs, and we're all tied at 17 apiece. And with that, Casey County will take their second time out here in set number 3. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownSelfStorage.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, eTown Exterminating, and West Point Bank. I'd like to thank our student workers, William Grimes, Violet Maxheimer, Isaiah Washington, Ace McGuire, and Mr. Jeremy Miller, our director tonight. Again, for us, this will be our final sports event prior to spring break. When we get back from spring break, we will have boys and girls lacrosse matches along with baseball and softball. Tomorrow night, Casey County back in action as they will host Pulaski County. And then both of these teams on Friday night will be in a 3-team tri-match. They will also include Southwestern High School. Back to action, Jacob Finn at the line, 17 serving 17. Hatter to Ben Gossage. For Sebastian rolled over. De Los Santos gets to that one. Tobin will knock it over. Good, sends it right back. White pops that one up to Smith. Now Tobin will send it over. It's in. Point Bulldogs. 18 serving 17. Luttrell. Ben Gossage, sorry. For good. Now, White will send it over. Sam Gossage to Ben Gossage for good, and he gets it in on the back line. Point Rebels. Well, it's Remy Sebastian now to serve. 18 serving 18. De Los Santos to Smith. Cox will send it back line. Tapped up by Hatter. Luttrell right to the net. That was a net violation. Ooh. I thought it was the other. I thought Cox got into the net. I believe Coach Ray thinks the same thing as me. So now they've got it correct. There was a net violation on the Bulldogs. Point for the Rebels. So 19 serving 18. Finn to De Los Santos. Tobin in the middle, send it. Hatter. Ben Gossage to Sam Gossage, taps it over. De Los Santos there. Smith again. And that one doesn't clear the net. Point Rebels. 20 serving 18. Finn to Smith. Outside Cox. Send it over. Luttrell there. Ben Gossage back for Luttrell. Tapped over. White gets that one to Finn. Now it'll be Smith that'll bump it back line. Sebastian is there. Ben Gossage to Good. He goes down the middle. Finn digs that one out to Smith.
Tobin now will just tap it over. Sebastian gets to it. They're not going to be able to return it. It's going to have a net violation on the Rebels. Point Bulldogs. I do want to apologize to Ben and Sam Gossage. I have a student named Ben Savage that looks very similar to Ben Gossage. I apologize at times I've mispronounced his last name. Christian De Los Santos now to serve for John Hardin. Ben Gossage gets out, now going to be able to return it. We're all tied, 20 apiece. And Christian De Los Santos at the line serving for the Bulldogs. Into the middle, good now, sends it over, and a point for the Rebels. It was a really good job that time by Ben Gossage, has got the diving dig. And that, John Hardin will take their first time out here in set number 3. Get a reminder, Casey County back in action tomorrow night as they will host Pulaski County. And then on Friday night, both of these teams will be in a tri-match along with Southwestern High School. So both teams will get in 2 games that night. These 2 teams actually will play each other again on Friday, and then they each will play Southwestern High School as well. Our next game will be after, our next match will be after spring break, and we will have boys and girls lacrosse along with baseball and softball. We come back out. It'll be Sam Gossage at the line for the Rebels, 21 serving 20. We're all tied at 21 apiece on the service error. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif will check in on the front line as Joseph Kim will check in and head to the service line. 21 serving 21. Sebastian Hatter, now good, will send it over. Dos Santos to Kim. Cox will send it over. Luttrell gets that one. Ben Gossage back for Luttrell down the middle. He'll get the kill. Point Rebels. As Luke Barnes checks back in now for Rebels. Also, Briar Vest checks back in for Casey County. Barnes will do the serving, 22 serving 21. De Los Santos to Kim for Abdel-Latif. That one's long. 23 serving 21. De Los Santos to Kim. Back sets for Cox. Back row. It's kill for Charlie Cox. Yassine Abdel-Latif checking in for the Bulldogs, who led to the service line. 22 serving 23. Sam Gossage to Luttrell. And some miscommunication between the Rebels. Point for the Bulldogs, and we're all tied at 23 apiece. Ace. And it'll be set point for the Bulldogs. 24 serving 23. Luttrell. And Ben Gossage gets the kill that time as he takes it off of the blockers. And so we're going to get a little extra, some free volleyball. Cameron Luttrell Serving again, you have to be winning by 2, and it's a foot fault on Luttrell as he stepped across the line when he served. So David Tobin checks back in on the front line. Blake Curry heads to the service line. Set point for the Bulldogs, 25 serving 24. And an ace, and John Hardin wins set number 3, 26-24. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownSelfStorage.com, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned family-run pest control company that's been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. All right, as we come back for set number 4 on the court for the Bulldogs, Blake Curry, Charlie Cox, Joseph Kim, Christian De Los Santos, Jacob Finn, and Ibrahim Abdel-Latif. For Casey County, Sam Gossage, Fryer Vest, Cameron Luttrell, Austin Lee, and Ethan Hatter with Luke Barnes as the libero. Dug out by Barnes. Lee, this was going to go over the net. And Blake Curry gets the kill off of Hatter. Joseph Kim heads to the service line for the Bulldogs. 1 serving 0. Best, Hatter not able to get that one back. 2 serving 0. Barnes to Lee for Luttrell. Just goes off speed. Cox pops it in the air. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif with the kill on the back line. 3 serving 0. Hatter to Lee. Back for Hatter. Big kill on the back line. Cameron Luttrell will head to the service line for the Rebels. 1 serving 3. Ace. 2 serving 3. That one goes long. Service error, point for the Bulldogs. Yassine Abdelatif now to check in. He'll head to the service line. 4 serving 2. Hatter to Lee for Vest. That's going to be a net violation on Casey County. Point Bulldogs. 5 serving 2. Hatter to Lee. Back to Hatter. That one doesn't clear the tape. It's going to be 4 hits. Point Bulldogs. 6 serving 2. With that, Coach Roy going to take his first time out here in set number 4. We'd like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact nfhs.com to subscribe today. And we will be back on the air with spring sports after our spring break. And we will have the boys and girls lacrosse along with baseball and softball. We come back out of this timeout. John Hardin on top. 6-2 will be Yassine Abdelatif at the line serving for the Bulldogs. They hadn't blown the whistle yet. Jumped the gun a little. We'll redo it. Luttrell to Lee for Hatter. He'll go off speed in the middle. That would sit back over. Hatter sends it back row again. Popped up by Curry. Now De Los Santos hits it. That goes wide. Point Rebels. Austin Lee now to the line for Casey County. 3 serving 6. De Los Santos to Kim for Curry. Blocked at the net by Hatter. Not able to get that one back over. Point Rebels. 4 serving 6. Finn to Kim. Back for Finn. He goes back row. It's long. 5 serving 6. Ace for Lee. We're all tied 6 apiece. Finn to Kim. Back outside. Finn sends it over. Vest gets that one to Lee. Back outside. Now Vest will bump it back line. Kim to De Los Santos. Ibrahim Abdelatif sends that one over. Gossage. Need back for Gossage. De Los Santos will send it right back over. Sam Gossage winds up. Yassine got it to De Los Santos and sent over by Kim. Lee in the middle for Hatt. Sent over. De Los Santos gets that. Kim outside for Finn. Goes back line. It's in. Point Bulldogs. David Tobin checked back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. And Curry now serving. 7 serving 6. Barnes sends that one over. Curry gets to it back over Lee outside. Sam Gossage hits it. It goes wide. Point Bulldogs. 8 serving 6. That goes long. Ethan Hatter now to the line for the Rebels. It's no one good. Checks back in on the front line. 7 serving 8. Kim for Tobin. That one's sent over. Sebastian gets it to Hatter. Back for Sebastian. He'll roll back line. It's long. Point Bulldogs. Kyle Smith now to serve for the Bulldogs. 9 serving 7. And it'll be an ace. 10 serving 7. Good to Lee, back for good. He goes back line. Yasin gets to that one. And a point for the Rebels. They were unable to return that one. Briar Vest now to serve for Casey County. Joyce White checks back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. Yasin to Smith. And some miscommunication that time out of the Bulldogs. Point Rebels. 9 serving 10. White to Kim. Cross for Finn. He'll roll it. Sebastian gets to it. Popped in the air by Lee. Now Luttrell will send it over. Yasin there goes over too far. Good with the tip kill. All tied at 10 apiece now as Vest heads back to the service line. Ace for Vest. And the Rebels now lead 11 serving 10. Smith outside for White. Big swing, but that's long. Point Rebels. And with that, John Hardin will take their first time out in set number 4. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownSelfStorage.com, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs. What else? Auto and scrap metal recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned family-run pest control company. It's been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Finn will send that one back over. Lee to good. He'll send it back row. It's in. Point Casey County. 13 serving 10. Briar Vest again at the line for the Rebels. Dos Santos to Smith. Outside White. He goes back right. It's long. 14 serving 10. Yassine to Smith for White. He'll roll this one to the middle. Hatter gets that one. Good will send it over. Yassine sends it right back, and the tip kill for Good. 15 serving 10. De Los Santos sends it back over. Luttrell, that's going to be a net violation on Casey County as Sebastian went under the net. Point Bulldogs. Charlie Cox will check back in on the front line for John Hardin. Jacob Finn heads to the service line. 11 serving 15. Hatter to Luttrell for Good. Gets that one over. De Los Santos to Smith. White taps that one over. Lee to Luttrell. Good again. Will punch it towards the middle. De Los Santos gets that. Smith outside for Cox. Send that one over. Luttrell to Lee. Back for Luttrell. Cox to Smith. Now Tobin, and a one tip kill that time by Good again, as that one was just over the net. Remy Sebastian now to the service line for the Rebels. 16 serving 11. De Los Santos sends it all the way back over, and on the overpass, they're able to get it back. Sebastian to Lee for Good. De Los Santos to Smith. Tobin will send it over. Hatter to Lee for Luttrell. Gets it in the middle and an open space. With that, John Hardin going to take their next time out. Get a reminder, Rebels back in action tomorrow night. They will host Pulaski County. And then these two teams, along with Southwestern High School, will play in a tri-match this Friday. For us here at HCEC-TV, this will be our last sporting event this week. Next week we will not have anything during spring break. When we come back, we will have boys and girls lacrosse along with baseball and softball. So Remy Sebastian at the line for the Rebels. John Hardin has used 2 timeouts, or their 2 timeouts for this set. Casey County still has 1 left, and that'll be an ace. 18 serving 11. Ball went all the way down into the concession stand. Cox to Smith. Back for Cox. That one doesn't clear the tape. 19 serving 11. Finn to Smith. In the middle for Tobin. Back line. Hatter to Luttrell. Good will send it over. Dos Santos gets that one to Finn. Now it'll be Tobin who'll bump it over into the middle. Luttrell gets that to Lee. Back for Luttrell. Goes back corner, and he will get the kill. 20 serving 11. De Los Santos to Smith, outside for Cox. Taps that one over. Luttrell gets there. Lee for good. He'll send it toward the middle. De Los Santos gets that to Smith. Back sets for White. Goes across court. Comes all the way back. White gets it good. Has the blocked by Tobin. Point Bulldogs. Christian De Los Santos now to the service line as Blake Curry checks back in on the front line. 12 serving 20. Luttrell to Lee for good. We'll send it back row. De Los Santos gets there. Now Finn for Curry, who sends it over. Lee bump sets for good. Back line, Finn is there. To Smith. Outside Cox. Just taps that one. Luttrell again gets to it. Lee outside for Luttrell. Misplays that one. Point Bulldogs. 13 serving 20. Hatter to Lee. Outside for Luttrell. Send it back row. Smith gets that one to De Los Santos. Now sent over by Curry. Hatter again to get that one. It's going to be tight to the net. Point for the Bulldogs. 14 serving 20. Hatter to Lee. Luttrell taps that one over. The off-speed hit gets the point for the Rebels. Checking in is Luke Barnes. He'll head to the service line. And an ace for Barnes. 21 serving 14. Sent all the way back over, and Hatter on the overpass gets the kill. 23 serving 14. Finn to Smith. Outside for Cox. That one comes over. Luttrell gets that to Lee. In the middle for Hatter. Taps that one over. Smith gets that one to De Los Santos. Into the middle. Curry now going to bump it over. And it was Lee gets the kill on that one. And it'll be match point for the Rebels. Luke Barnes heads to the service line. 24 serving 14. Cox, De Los Santos. Smith will bump it back line. Sebastian is there to Lee. For Luttrell, Cox gets that one out. Smith now sent over by White. Lee sets towards the middle. That one doesn't clear. Point Bulldogs. Ibrahim Abdel-Latif checking in along with Joseph Kim. Kim will head to the service line. 15 serving 24. And an ace for Kim. 16 serving 24. Sebastian to Lee. For Hatter. Off the front line. De Los Santos gets to it. Kim sends it outside. Cox will send it over. Sebastian to Lee. Back sets for Luttrell. Just tap that one over. De Los Santos sends it back. Hatter now will send it over. And that will do it. As Casey County will win set number 4. 25-16. And they win the match 3-1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical therapy associates, more personal attention for more effective results. E-Town Self-Storage, finally a place conveniently located in Elizabethtown for more than just your self-storage needs. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company that's been serving the surrounding area since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler, hometown banking made simple. Again, we want to thank our student workers for making tonight's broadcast possible. William Grimes, Violet Maxheimer, Isaiah Washington, and Ace McGuire, all under the direction of Mr. Jeremy Miller. For Casey County, they improved to 1-2 on the season, while the Bulldogs fall to 0-4. Again, the Bulldogs back in action on Friday night, as it'll be a tri-match with this same Casey County team along with Southwestern High School. For all of us here at HCEC-TV, I'm Bobby Thompson saying so long and good night.